Deep breath, everyone.
Good morning.
It's gonna be okay. Hello, the Morning Toast. I can't even speak. Welcome to the Morning Toast. This is the Morning Toast. Could do it. I don't even know how I'm feeling. I would say I'm mostly tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not as hungover as I expected, even though I got in bed at 3:30 in the morning. Sorry, my voice.
How was the pizza?
The pizza was great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Joe's?
Joe's Pizza.
So good.
It was, I mean, it was cold and it was rock hard because you know when the cheese gets hard, it just turns into like a
Clump.
just a clump, cement clump. But I was just woofing it down. And I left the bones for Jeff.
That's nice of
Are
you.
you a bones girl? I don't really eat the crust.
It really depends like how fucking hungry I
Yeah.
am or what else I'm eating. Like if there's a pasta dish like
Yeah.
you
And
did
there's
last
a
night,
sauce.
I'll take the crust and, you know,
Yeah.
dip it up.
Yeah.
I'll pretend like I don't eat crust and then I find a way to finish
Yeah,
it. You know,
but
like
I'm not a person who's like, can I have your crust? That's
No.
Margot, our sister.
Oh,
wild.
that's Jeff. He always wants the crust. I said, no, I choke on it. It's too dry.
Oh my God, wait. Also, speaking of food, the appetizer at last night's meal was divine. The little pasta
the
dish.
soppressata.
Was that what it was called?
That was the cheese. I
Oh
read
my
on
God,
the menu.
it was the best thing I ever had. They
So
put it
good.
down. It looked like a square piece of pizza, like from camp, you know? And I was like, why are they serving pizza at amFAR?
I
By the
literally
way,
thought it was a grandma
We went to the
slice.
amFAR gala last night.
Yes.
Sorry. Let's start from the beginning.
Okay, that's why also I look like I'm about to go on a jog because I told these bitches, I said, I'm gonna show up in my pajamas, and of course they're still cute, and I'm
Okay,
dying.
really? Because at 9:45, as I was putting my pants on, I said, guys, are we still doing pajamas? And you guys took so long to answer that it would have rather been overdressed than underdressed.
Fine.
fair.
Okay.
And I don't know about like so cute, but it's just so crazy how anytime you go from being like the most beautiful you've ever been,
Yeah.
to then like 12 hours later, the
Bottom.
worst you've ever
Yeah.
been.
Right, like, why
100%.
can't we just like look like decent? No,
Yeah.
it's you have to look horrible.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just like a bad jogger today.
I feel like people are looking at me and being like, oh my God, that girl's so sad. Like, it's so nice they let her out, you know, of her cage.
Well, I was getting in my cab outside of my hotel, and these two girls, I thought, you know when you just feel like
Well,
someone's
you're
talking
staying at
about
like a trendy, fancy
I
hotel.
am staying at a trendy fancy hotel, but these girls were literally talking about me, and I kind of turned around and they caught me, and they were like, "Oh no, we love your shoes because I'm wearing these Ronald McDonald sneakers. They're like my orthopedic
Oh my God,
sneakers."
you caught them catching you.
Yes, and so I was like, and they're like, "No, we love your sneakers." And I was like, "You don't like my sneakers. I know they look like Ronald McDonald." I was like, I'm so hungover
Totally,
right now.
they were talking about you.
Yeah, they were talking about how ugly my sneakers were.
I love catching people talking shit about me.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great.
And then I do what they're doing, but like more animated, because they'll be like, and I'm just like, yeah, that girl
Yeah.
over there. I didn't point. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you see her blue shirt? Yeah, that's the one. Ben, get her.
Yeah.
I did that last night to a woman
Yeah.
who was like hardcore staring at me like so much, and it was just like so rude because no one's ever staring at you in a good way, you know?
No, ever.
Ever. And Ben was like, what's wrong? I'm like, that woman. And he was like, don't always assume people are looking at you negatively. I'm like, Ben, you're so sweet. Ben got caught talking to her at the bar. He goes, she was looking at her Instagram and she was like, my daughters love her or something. So it actually was positive.
But 9 times out of 10, people are usually
Please.
like, "She's the whore."
Of course. Well, I wanted to recap yesterday's show really quickly because we never got to discuss the Jennifer and Jackie of it all. Do you watch Real Housewives of New Jersey?
I do, and this season's so stressful.
So stressful. So
What,
we had
where
the new
do you
Housewives.
stand in the divide?
I
The great
don't-
divide.
I don't stand anywhere. I think they're all idiots.
Okay. Well, we had Jackie and Jennifer here, and I just have to say, I was really excited to meet Jennifer, but she like blew my expectations out of the water. Like, I am in love with her. I want to like make out with her.
I want to suck her monkey's asshole.
Yeah, right. Like, she was so cool and so funny and just like really self-aware and just like didn't care, you know?
Yeah.
I loved her.
I really liked her. I knew I was gonna like her, and I want her to come on again, like solo. Like I want to get
Yeah.
to know her more on a deeper level.
I want to go to her house.
Yes.
And I want to use one of her 16 bathrooms. Also, programming update. Tomorrow, we will have Juliet and Kelsey Owens of Siesta Key. I can't believe they're doing press together. That means the war is over. War is over. And I'm just really excited. Also a little nervous. Like, I wonder if she knows, like,
No, we owe, much like Nick Viall, we owe Kelsey Owens
An
a formal
apology.
apology
Yeah.
for talking so much shit.
we should just call this the morning apology.
Yeah, no, but I'm ready to grow and evolve.
Me too.
And
Siesta
prove me
Key.
wrong.
I'm ready to move to Siesta Key.
Me fucking too.
You know what? I kind of get Florida. I talk so much shit on the state of Florida, like in general.
And
but
you say Florida.
Florida. What
Because
are you
you're
supposed to say?
literally above it.
Yes.
Florida.
No, it's Florida.
But you're from Atlanta.
Yeah.
people from the South say Florida. We say Florida.
Yeah, you also say like almonds.
Or orange.
No, we don't say almonds.
No, you say an
we
almond.
We say McMahan's pecans.
That's right.
So Ben was saying last night how like your last name is so great and so American, like you need a family business.
Yes.
And we were coming up with like McMahan's mayonnaise, McMayonnaise,
Yeah.
you know? But then Heather really came up with the greatest one.
McMahon's pecans, like an old Southern man.
Yeah, where like you go around your farm like picking pecans.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, even though in the South, I say pecans, people say pecans, but we're just
Pecans.
But you would have to say it,
I'd have
McMahan's
to
pecans.
It's a thing.
And that would finally settle the debate of how it's pronounced.
Right.
Yes.
Because
be
people
like
would use your
ketchup.
company as a reference.
Yeah.
There we go. See, we're solving major world crises today. This is amazing.
Can we run through the celebs that we saw last night?
Yes.
Okay, can we just back up real quick though and talk about the fact that the three of us were invited to a basically models only party at Cipriani's downtown.
Black tie affair.
Black tie. I am so embarrassed. I took an Uber XL. Like I paid $60 to go from like the Gramercy area downtown just because I figured that I wanted to be seen getting out of the black car.
It was going to take you seriously getting out of a Toyota Camry.
No.
I literally could have taken like an old Honda Civic. Nobody would have seen. I got dropped off 3 blocks away because the traffic was so bad. I got kicked off the red carpet. It was a whole thing.
Okay.
Well, we're thirstier than you because, yes, we also paid $80 for a black Escalade, and we waited an extra probably 10, 15 minutes on the same block just to get dropped off right in front.
Yes.
'Cause
Okay.
we're thirsty
Yeah,
losers.
thirsty.
And you know what? Just so that you know, getting dropped off on an Escalade grants you no more respect.
None.
And
Because we too were disrespected on the red carpet.
Yes.
We got really like fucked because we walked right after Victoria Justice, who apparently is very famous. Like I know her, and like I love
who
her show on
apparently
Nickelodeon.
is still very famous.
Right, she's just recognizable. So like
Yeah.
the paparazzi were going crazy for her, and then like we came, but like the second we started, Michelle Rodriguez, a la Fast and Furious, came. So like we were just sandwiched between two people who were like kind of important, and literally no one could have given less of a shit about these short girls on the red carpet. And it was just annoying because it's like they flew in all these tall girls, tall
Right.
skinny girls, to walk around. Like there was literally a girl there who I'm 100% sure makes a full-time salary of being Emily Ratajkowski's stunt double. Like, I thought it was her. I was like, oh my God, Emily Ratajkowski's here. And I'm like, oh. And then I realized, no, it's Emily Ratajkowski. And it was just bullshit. Like, they were just like flying in these tall girls from Europe just to pretend to be people, just so they could outshine the somewhat interesting people.
Right. And they got so much respect because they were tall, and we got no respect because we were short.
So it started actually like pouring when I got shoved into the tent. So literally, I was sandwiched between like 7 supermodels, and then Mila Jovovich had just gone
Yep.
on. This guy who was in a full glitter outfit literally pushed me to the side, and then the red carpet lady was like, honey, you're next. Like, honey, have you ever been here? And I was like, no, I've really never been on a carpet before. I'm not even kidding you. This was the most soul-draining, soul-sucking, humbling moment of my life. I get out there, okay, so there's a supermodel just went, I don't even know, it was some like gorgeous woman. And then they just quit taking my photo. So if you're on the red carpet, they're like, snap, 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 over here, Heather, over here, over here. I got out, nobody knew my name. And they usually announce like, Heather McMahan.
Yeah, they
right?
have a little thing.
Yeah.
Someone walks you around.
No, and I had my like this like fur pashmina, and most models, they have their PR person or their manager, or they can give it to some peasant on the side. They're like, hey, will you take my purse, and will you take my sweater, and when you know, I'll meet you at the end of the carpet. I show up with my grandma shawl, and then they literally quit taking my photo, and I was standing there as they were yelling like, Mila Jovovich, over here, over
Right.
here. Nobody, there, literally, one of the camera ladies took out her memory card, dusted it off, put it back in, and then she goes, all right, sweetie, and took one photo because she felt so bad because I was standing there and I said out loud, I go, this is so embarrassing. And she
No.
felt bad.
You know what? I'm going to chalk it up to it being a poorly organized carpet, okay?
Yes.
Agreed. Like, you're supposed to have a babysitter who tells people who you are. Like, a lot of people, like, how do even those photographers, okay, I know they know who Victoria Justice is and Michelle Rodriguez, but even all of those models, like, unless someone looked like a model, how would they know who they are? Like, what if they're digital?
I guess it's just
Great
like
point.
You know?
I guess the photographer's mentality is like, oh, this person's probably a model. I just like don't know who they are, but I'm not going to miss the opportunity to photograph a model. But I guess they don't have the
When
same
we
thoughts for
show
us.
up, they're like, oh, these three
not
dumplings.
models, not models.
No, but like, maybe they should think, like, okay, these people are here. They're interesting to look at
Right,
in
no,
a different way.
in order to get on the carpet, you had to be somewhat interesting.
Yeah, you had to be someone. No?
Well, whatever. We were with Brian Kelly, Points Guy, who was a sponsor of the event and got us probably the best table ever.
Ever. We were literally, it was like the chain smokers and then like here.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like, I was up the Chainsmokers' ass and I didn't want to be anywhere else.
Yeah.
Just
Chainsmokers
up-
are hot.
Yeah, they did a great
They're
job.
hot.
There was
They did
some
it-
rockin' performances performances.
Yeah, Parson James, who Jackie reminded me, his name sounded familiar, and then I remember we met him and saw his performance at Surf Lodge, and I just had the same experience last night as I did at Surf Lodge. I'm like, why isn't he the most famous person in the world, you know?
He is so talented,
Oh
such
my God.
a doll.
The voice of an angel.
Angel.
He sounds actually like what I think I sound like when I sing, you know? Like
Yeah.
very gospel choir, like, yeah, Papa don't preach, you know? But obviously I don't sound like that, or else I would have been up
Are
on
we going to
stage.
do our musical? You remember last night
No.
after I'd had like 10 tequilas and I started singing in my really low
Yes, and we were
baritone
so
voice?
impressed.
Yes, Heather
Yeah.
explained to me. I never realized you do have a low register.
I have a very low register. I used to sing up and then I got really bad nodules on my vocal cords.
She got nodes, Brittany Stowe.
Yeah, just so you know, Ashley Simpson, that's a real thing. It's from acid reflux. And so now my voice is down here.
So I asked Heather, what is like if you were to try out on Broadway, like go to an audition after this,
Yeah.
what is like the song in your repertoire that really showcases your...
It's Summertime by Porgy and Bess.
Please.
Summertime and the living's easy. Like down there.
Wow,
Yeah,
you
really
should
down there.
ASMR.
Oh, I love ASMR.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't like watching ASMR because I don't get the tingles.
Me neither.
It like freaks me out, but I like doing it.
Did
Yeah,
you
well,
see
your
that
pizza-
ASMR commercial at the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
No.
They had Jason Momoa's stepdaughter,
Yeah, Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz.
I'm like, whoa. I've literally never heard anyone refer to Zoe Kravitz, who is arguably more famous than her mom and her stepdad, as Jason Momoa's stepdaughter.
Jason
She's more
Momoa-
famous than all of them. That's really like
I
saying...
just think of the world according to Jason Momoa.
Hold on, ready? No, I gotta get a reference. That is like saying, I don't know, but whatever. Not
Like
a good...
Bruce Willis's like third basic daughter.
No, okay, ready? It would be like Rumor Willis's ex-stepmom as
Yeah.
Demi Moore.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
That's
obviously-
her mother.
That's her mother.
Oh, fuck.
Wow,
whatever.
way to be disrespectful.
Rumor Willis's ex-stepdad, Bruce Willis. Nope, that's her
No,
father.
no. Ashton Kutcher.
Yes!
Rumor
Yes!
Willis's ex-stepdad,
That's
Ashton
what I
Kutcher.
meant. That's
Yes.
what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Okay,
the
anyways,
Kardashians
Zoe
were there.
Kravitz did an ASMR beer commercial at the Super Bowl, and it was so
Terrible.
uncomfortable. Unless you're
And it was from Michelob Ultra. I hope they're not a sponsor of the show.
They're not.
No.
But I was like, I used to drink Mick Ultras in college when I was like trying to be thin, but really when you have 75 of them, they still add up. So let's be real.
Okay, Kardashians were there. Although we didn't get up close and personal, it was still just like an honor to be within 10 feet of them.
It was an honor,
Oh.
and Kim waved at me.
Okay, I have to tell you.
Yes.
And you
Jackie
bared
and-
witness to it.
I bared
Jackie
witness.
and Heather were sitting like 3 inches behind me. So like when Kim
Yeah.
was looking, I was looking at Kim and I was just like staring at, making eye contact with her, smiling like the biggest smile ever.
Because she presented an award, she made her speech, and then she gave the award to her photographer friends, and then she took a step back and just like looked on as they made their speech. So she had some,
Free time,
bandwidth for her
free time.
eyeballs.
Yes.
So I like don't realize Heather and Jackie are like a little bit behind me, and I'm just like looking at Kim, smiling ear to ear, just like. And I guess what I thought happened was like we made eye contact, and she saw me smiling like an enormous fucking freak, and she waved at me, and I was like, I turned around, I'm like, you guys, did Kim just wave at me? And they're like, no, she
No.
waved at us.
Because I waved at her. I was smiling like a freak, and she saw us smiling like a freak. So I realized I had her eye contact,
Yeah.
and that. So I was like,
So Jackie does this little wave, and of course, then I see Kim kind of like lock eyes, and then I'm behind her going like this. I was like, "Hey, Kimberly," and so then Claudia just thinks that like
I
Kim
thought
and
it was
her are
all
having a
for
moment.
Me. But Kimberly, she mouthed hi. She was like hi, and she was like,
Yeah.
she waved, and I was like, did she? No.
it was really for the three of us, though.
Because we looked like
I think
huge
between
losers.
the three of us, we were all like sticking out, like.
No, I literally
Right.
had sunshine coming out of my eyeballs. I was like so excited. I was like literally gleaming.
It was wild when
Your
you had.
smile was gleaming.
Yeah.
Your skin was beaming.
Exactly.
There you go. It was so wild seeing like all these huge famous supermodels get up there, and then no one was paying attention to the auction. But then when Kim got up there,
Silence.
and you have like like these just insane cover of Vogue models trying to snap Kim's photo. I felt like I was in a video game.
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening right now?
She really is like another level, and she commands silence and respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hard to quiet that room.
And I
Yeah.
gotta be honest with you, she is truly, I can never talk shit about how beautiful, like she is truly iconically beautiful.
And photos don't do justice
No.
to how petite she is. She's
Yeah.
so short, and her frame is so small, and like I just love her.
Yeah, I'm truly obsessed.
Courtney, like I couldn't care less about.
Yeah. And Kim looks good from every angle. Like she was wearing such a daring dress with her
Very
sleeve
daring.
and very tight, and she just like looks good from every angle while also like maintaining like a healthy body.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Have we discussed this? I can only imagine being at her level, You can't even go to, you can't even go to Chipotle.
No.
She cannot leave the house unless she is full glam.
So when I went to the Gift of Life gala like a couple months ago where she was being honored, she actually sat at a table for a while, like trying to enjoy the gala, like with the presentation, and the guy met his donor. And like she literally had to leave. Like she couldn't, like people just would not stop, myself included, berating her for photos and talking, business cards and all that bullshit. It was like, it must be so difficult, I mean, I got one business card last night and I couldn't stop talking about it. It was such a well done business card.
It was.
Must have been Vistaprint.
Must have been.
I love Vistaprint.
Me too, actually. My business cards are from Vistaprint, and we have a Toasty code that I didn't use because I got it before, but when I replenished, because I've been just giving them out
Like hotcakes.
left and right. I actually think I need a redesign. This guy had like his face shaped in like a circle emoji, and I think his company was an emoji company.
And you got to get like a thick card.
With
You
the
gotta
gloss.
Yeah.
Yes, you got to have the thick gloss.
People won't respect you if you have like the shitty like thin paper.
No.
Yeah.
No, you got to get like Vistaprint's finest.
And you need like one word on one side of the card. Like
Yeah, like
creative. And then they're like, what is she creative about? That's the thing. You got, or it just says
premium.
premium.
It's like
Or,
hard
like,
though, like
cheese,
It's almost like it's like asking a
Pecan.
celebrity for a photo, like
Yeah.
that moment where you're like scared. It's like also like handing your business card to someone. Like it's an incredibly thirsty thing to do, and you just have to own it.
I used to have business cards because, I've always been like a little business lady, even young. And I literally now, like sometimes like, I'll meet people my parents' age and they're like, so I want to follow your stuff. Do you have a card? And I'm like, just have your kids follow me on Instagram. Because I feel like,
Oh my
you know
god!
what I mean?
Someone being like, "I want to follow you. Do you have a card?"
Do you have a card?
That's like the person who shouldn't be following.
I
you.
know. Speaking of that, real quick though,
Yeah.
you have to show me how to like use my phone for good and not evil. Literally yesterday you paid in the cab. I felt like an 80-year-old lady going out with y'all because y'all just
Heather.
did things on your phone I didn't know was
Heather,
possible.
stick with me.
I will.
Vistaprint wants you to be able to own the now in any situation, which honestly I have a really hard time doing. Our listeners are getting 500 high-quality custom business cards starting at $9.99. Use code TOAST at Vistaprint.com. That is code TOAST at Vistaprint.com. TOAST.
I'm doing that. I one time made business cards a while back, and like I was making them like me, so they were like pink with like lips on them, and I didn't want them to have a lot of information, so I wanted to be like Jackie
Mysterious.
O, email for inquiries, and it looks like an escort card.
That
like
sounds
Of
horrible.
an escort.
What color was the font?
It was pink and gold.
Oh God.
Oh, and you're like passing them out at at
Rich
the plaza.
man, Jackie O,
yeah.
and amFAR, so
Yeah.
all the rich men who bought tables.
Jackie O, email for inquiries.
Oh, terrible.
That was the big thing last night. It was just models and rich old men.
Yeah, and us.
And us.
and
us.
bottles. And
Bottles.
there were some legit models.
Winnie Harlow was there. Oh, we met Emily Donato finally for the first time ever. She is a toaster and just like an angel from God, I would say. Her eyes are just like bluer than the ocean.
And she just had so much personality.
Yeah, and she was just like real. She was like, I went to this event last year. Someone called me an idiot. I was like, okay.
That's
That's
how
her
I felt
fault.
on the red
Oh,
carpet.
I mean, Ramona. We have to talk about the Ramona of it all.
Okay. So we're watching the Chainsmokers.
We have the best seat. I can't even talk. Seat? Best seat in the house. Like,
Yeah.
they are performing right in our face. Like, his junk was right there.
And then all of a sudden, this I thought it was like a chicken who was like a wasted like a barnyard animal. I couldn't figure out what was coming up next to me. Only because it was like a lot of noises.
Yeah.
She's a woo girl. I'm
She
not saying that
whoops it up.
physically. It was like a wah! But
Yeah.
it was like a rooster.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was about to approach me, so I
Right.
turned around on the defense, and then it was just Ramona in a banging dress with her big new tits.
Tits. Oh my God.
Out
And
of control.
Avery was there,
Beautiful.
and like I said hi to them.
Beautiful
But it was
breasts.
obvious that they just like wanted to say hi to me
Yeah.
for my spot, because then they literally took my spot, and I had like the third best seat in the house, and I was actually really fucking annoyed about it, because it happened at the exact time Kelsey came on to sing. They did 4 songs, and the last song they did was their song with Kelsey, and like Kelsey's my friend, and like I don't know, I just like wanted to be in the front row, and I wanted her to like see me, and like I was
Oh no, they literally pushed us over as like we were getting pushed over on the red carpet. They pushed us
yeah,
over.
and I wonder if like they would have said hi and like been as friendly, like if we didn't have
If we
those
were in the
seats.
back.
Yeah, where they were.
And Ramona just kept screaming, I love the Chainsmokers. I love them. And then I turned around and I said, girl, you look great. And she's like, oh, I've seen the Chainsmokers so many times. I'll go without Avery. Avery doesn't want to go, but I'll go to the show. I love the Chainsmokers. And I was like, you know what, Ramona? You do you.
Well,
Live
you know
your
what?
truth.
There's a lyric in one of the songs, Never Getting Older.
Yeah.
And Ramona was like, she kept saying it, the song was over. She's like, we're never getting older. Like, no, bitch, you are it. Take those tits out.
Yes. She was having a renaissance last night.
Also, I'm pretty sure Avery locked, oh, you know what? No, I'm sorry.
No,
I don't
no,
want, yeah,
no,
I'm sorry.
no.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I don't know what you're gonna say.
I just move on.
Move.
Any other highlights?
Winnie Harlow was there. She did a little bit on stage, and honestly, it was terrible
Oh,
with the champagne.
yeah.
It was
the whole thing was every time that these models got up and tried, I don't know who wrote their scripts. It just, nobody was paying attention. And I looked out because I was wolfing down my food. All of the models, there was that predominant, like huge model table, like 2 of them right next to us. They were all jeweling. And I realized these girls don't eat, all they do is jewel. And that meringue cake last night.
No, the food was so good.
Was
my God.
So good.
You guys, we have to have dinner tonight at Cipriani. Like
Yes.
maybe the Uptown one.
Yes.
Just because I need that cake.
The cake and the pasta.
The pasta, yes, but the cake, like, so.
Let's
okay.
have it Cipriani's night. I'm so here for it.
Yeah. So wait, they delivered the cake and everyone was like pretty much leaving. So like we were all going to take pictures to the bar. Like I thought we were headed out. So I literally took maybe 6 fucking huge bites of Jackie's cake and ran. But then we ended up coming back to the table to enjoy our cake where you took that wonderful photo.
Yes.
And Jackie comes, she's like, who ate my cake? I'm like, it's me.
Don't worry. There
Don't
was
look at me. I don't know a thing.
63,000 other cakes on the tables because nobody touched their food.
Yeah.
But, okay. Can we also just talk about the actual entree itself?
Oh, well, we got the fish because we're kosher bitches.
Yeah, it's fine.
It wasn't
It was
so
very
bad.
chewy.
It
was.
just smelled bad, but it wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I love, a smelly fish.
Oh God, it smelled bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a short rib.
My short rib was to die for. It was juicy. It was flavorful. It had a great gravy. And as the lady served it to me, she was like, "You made the best choice, honey." And I was I know I did. The potatoes au gratin were great, and then they had the nice, like it was like a cauliflower kind of root vegetable medley. Delicious.
Delicious.
I really, like, now I'm in the mood tonight. I want spaghetti from Cipriani for dinner and that cake for dessert.
Great.
Let's do it.
Let's do
I
it.
ate so well last night at the ball. Like I
Did
didn't
you not
see
have
that
the
for
pasta
myself.
thing?
I did. No, I'm
So
sorry. I
fucking
ate
good.
well in terms of like I was well fed.
Oh, I thought you meant like
yeah.
you
Oh
were
no,
eating
no.
healthy.
I was eating so much like I forgot I was getting married in a week.
Oh, when you went, I went up to the bar upstairs, and literally they just had like really beautiful Cipriani bowls that had just big blocks of Parmesan Reggiano in there. So I legit am looking around. I'm like, nobody's eating the Parmesan. I'm like, I can eat this, right?
Right.
I'm literally just grabbing chunks of cheese.
And do you guys, like, when you get a piece of cake, do you always compare, like, your size of cake with everyone else's?
Oh, absolutely. It's immediate.
So when we were walking out, we walked past the model table, which they had all left, and it had a full piece of cake on every plate, and they were so much bigger than ours. And I was thinking when I got my cake that it looked like the end had been like cut off, and I'm like, that's a small piece of cake. And I'm like, oh, I guess they're just giving everyone small pieces of cake because there's models everywhere. But then I walked past the model table, and they had big ass pieces. So like maybe they were trying to tell me something.
Perhaps.
No, they weren't trying to tell you anything. They just were probably trying to feed the models.
Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah,
because
they
they were like, she needs some extra.
It was the best cake I ever had. I couldn't stop eating it. It sobered me up annoyingly, but I couldn't stop.
I couldn't even tell. It wasn't even like a lemon. It was like almost like an almond, and then it had a meringue on top.
It was
like
vanilla.
whipped.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Napoleon.
No.
I don't think it was.
I don't think so either.
whatever this meringue, it was meringue on top.
Yes.
Right?
Was it?
Or like
It was just burnt, so we thought it was.
or was it marshmallow?
I don't fucking
Baked
know.
Alaska.
It was like a baked Alaska, but
But
it
baked
wasn't.
Alaska was nasty.
Nasty,
Yeah.
but it looked like a baked Alaska.
Yeah.
Because it had so many layers.
We'll have to review the menu.
Yeah.
This is the
Honestly,
most-
you guys, I think it's a
the most
tiramisu.
ridiculous fat
Did
ass
someone bring
Hold on,
the
we've got to
program
break
home?
it down.
No, like what?
Yeah.
That's the classic Cipriani dessert. It's like what they're known for. Is it a tiramisu? My friend Alicia would know. Should I
You know
just
what?
ask her?
Should I just Google it?
Google
Yeah.
Cipriani cake classic.
Yes.
It's like the Bellini of cake.
It was truly the most delicious thing I ever put in my mouth. And the top was almost like, like fluff, marshmallow
Whipped,
fluff.
yeah.
It was like whipped marshmallow fluff, which I thought was, I guess, meringue.
It's a vanilla meringue cake.
So it's settled.
So,
I'm ordering it tonight.
Wow, now I'm having flashbacks. How you can make it at
my
home.
God.
Oh,
we
let's
gotta
make it
get
at
it.
How you
home.
can make it at home.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Wait, and honestly, the night never ended because we hopped in a cab to go to the after party. And so Cipriani is this enormous fucking place that is on a tiny cobblestone street. It's impossible to get to and impossible to leave on a normal night.
Yeah.
But like it was this huge event. Literally, cars were lined up. We get into this cab and he just didn't give a fuck. And he starts literally going in reverse on like 4 blocks, and we were in the back like on our phones,
Trying to find our
trying
pictures
to find
on
our
Getty.
pictures from the red carpet. Like we were just so busy, we didn't even notice, and people on the street were looking at us. They're like, "Are you guys okay?" We were like, "What's wrong?" We were like, we got out of traffic. He must have saved us over an hour in traffic for like a 3-block radius, and we didn't even care or notice until
That we
got
were
pulled
going
over.
backwards.
I said, guys, I think we're going backwards. And Claudia was just like, hell yeah, we are.
I was
and we were just like
happy.
mowing backwards, and then all of a sudden it was like whoop whoop, and then I said, oh shit, we're getting pulled over. Y'all were like, Heather,
No, I'm like,
no,
it's
they're
not
not
for
pulling us over. I
us.
go, we just went backwards for 6 blocks on a one-way street the wrong way. We're getting pulled over. So we get pulled over, and I said, they're like, so should we get out? And I thought it was real police, so I said, no, we need to be respectful. Like, I just don't know what the laws are.
Yeah.
And New York is another thing. Like,
In a cab, it's weird. I've been pulled over in a cab before, and when the police come up, then usually you ask, like,
Yeah.
can I get out? But it was raining, and we were kind of comfortable, so we didn't
Yeah, we were
think.
kinda cozy.
We were like, we'll ride this out.
Yes, I have been in Ubers and cabs that have been pulled over, and before the cop even comes, I just hop out, and it's a thing. Like, you're allowed to get out. But you guys are making me so paranoid, and like the rain and the dark, like, I don't know, I just didn't
It was
want
the rain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like we were really comfortable for the first 5 minutes. We went live on Instagram, and then it was like stupid, and I was having FOMO. We like weren't gonna get into the after party, so we made a dash.
Yeah, after 20 minutes of sitting in the cabin, all you needed was your bracelet to get into the after
Oh,
party.
and then we found out that the police that pulled us over was not actual police. It was
was
the
a
TLC.
limousine. Yeah, it was-
Taxi and Limousine Commission police. Like, please,
and the cab driver was very weird about it.
like they don't have guns.
Yeah.
No, he had a belt of
he
of
did?
stuff. I didn't see a gun, but like he had the stick.
Well,
know?
you asked, you were like, what's the deal? And he was like, oh, don't worry, it's not the real police. I'm just going to get a fine. And we were like, it's not the real police. We've
like,
been sitting here
thanks
for
for-
20 minutes.
Yeah, like that. He could have told us a little earlier on.
I think he enjoyed our company.
I think he did too. Where the fuck did you get that water?
This is a $10 water from
For
a
a hotel.
hotel. And legit, it's Evian, which, is Evian a sponsor?
No, and
Okay.
honestly,
I
they
don't
shouldn't
like,
be because
I don't
Evian's
like
trash.
Evian. It tastes like weird milk.
Yeah.
It's milky water, but
It's so thick.
I'm
Like,
doing
look
it.
how it comes out, just like, oh my god, you hear that?
It's ASMR.
Yes.
hold on.
When your pizza Instagram stories last night were really ASMR-y.
Yes, yes. And Jeff woke up and I was like, is he awake? I thought he was going to eat my slice.
In the middle of his sleep.
In the middle of his sleep.
That is definitely
He's
something I would
so
do.
mad at me right now. I have to take him to lunch today.
Why is he mad? Because you were late?
Yeah, he was like, I was waiting up for you. I would have eaten the pizza. And I was like, no, the pizza was for me. He was
Oh my
very,
god, he didn't eat the pizza
no,
waiting
he
for
had
you?
one slice for him, and then he saved me 2 slices, but he was very like heartbroken. And I had one of those moments where I was like, now that we're engaged, I said, literally this morning, I said, honey, I have to go out and I have to network, and this is it. And we're on opposite schedules, and it's hard, but I will make time for you. And I was like, we're fucking married now. This would have never happened before, but now that we're engaged, like, you didn't come home when you said you were going to. All you had to do was send me a text. And I was like, I'm sorry, honey, I was working.
You were.
I was working late, babe. Sorry. I'll take you to lunch today. Pilugers.
I
Is
can't
that where you're
believe-
going?
I mean, if we can get in, but I'm dressed
Ooh.
like this, so I don't think so.
I don't think they care.
I
And
don't
also,
think it's
you're
busy
only,
this time of
You're
day.
only 2 people. This like whole conversation is making me want to have a fat fucking rich lunch.
I
And
want
you
I
should.
want a burger so bad with like steak cut fries and like every sauce.
Yeah.
I can't believe we've been sitting here for 30 minutes and we haven't talked about your engagement. One.
Oh my god.
And we haven't gotten
'Cause
into
we
the
spoke
stories,
about it
that's
last
fine.
night.
We spoke about it last night, but congratulations, Mazel
you.
Tov.
Tell us the story.
So we were
Again.
down in the Turks and Caicos at the Waimara Resort, which is my favorite place on earth. And
Is that the Gansler rebranded?
Yeah, yeah. So it's always been Waimara, so now it's just Waimara.
Nice.
Which is great.
Rich.
It's very rich. So we were in the pool, and that resort's really special to us because when my dad was still alive, we would always go down there on vacations together. So Jeff knew that if he was going to propose to me, like it was coming up on our 8-year anniversary, and I'd gone ring shopping in December. So I also told him, like, if you don't do it soon, like, you're not going to leave this island alive. Like, I
Right.
know a guy with a boat with bricks. tied to
I
your
met him at the
feet.
fish fry.
Yeah, at the fish fry, Mom. So he built this giant float, and it was in an H for my initials out of like silk flowers. And so we're like, it's like 4:30, the sun's about to set, we're drinking margaritas in the pool. It's our
Best
favorite
time of
of
day.
It really
Best
is.
time of
Golden
day.
hour.
Yes. And but I could feel like a shift in the energy of the pool. Like people knew what was about to happen, and all of a sudden, people just kind of started to float away from me. And I was having like lovely conversations with people from like Dallas and New York.
Oh,
or
you're a
whatever.
conversationalist in
Yeah.
the pool.
Oh, yeah.
Big
Yeah.
time.
I am. You know what? Honestly, they just kind of float to me.
Right.
I
They gravitate.
I'm one of those people on vacation. I love to make friends, but I'm gonna let it kind of come to me. I'm not gonna pursue it.
No.
But then people, they see this face and they're like, she's got to have something to say.
Right. And she does.
And she does. So then all of a sudden, our favorite cabana boy put this float in the pool, and I thought it was at first. I just thought it was a drink floating
Yeah.
over to
Oh,
me.
cool.
But it wasn't, and I was like,
You were
wait.
disappointed.
And then everybody in the pool just like backed up because they all knew it was about to happen. And in the middle was a box with like one of my favorite flowers in it. And so when he picked up the box, I thought the ring was going to be in it. And of course, I don't like surprises. Like I love to surprise people, but when I get surprised, I literally shut down. I black out. So he picked up the box and he had a little sweet thing about the flower and my dad. It was like this whole thing. And then I just yelled, "Where's the fucking ring?" He pulled it out of his swim trunks.
What?
In the pool. I see this brown box coming out of his like Lacoste shorts. Yes, he just hopped out of the pool and put it in.
But then he went in the pool with it?
Yes. In the
Dangerous.
box. Dangerous.
Could have fallen out.
Well, no, it was in a giant box. But he said, he was like, "I knew I had to get you in the water 3 margaritas deep or you would have been," because I'm nosy, I know everything.
Yeah.
He's like, "You would have been freaking out and like, you know, or if like I took you to dinner, I took you on a sunset walk."
Yeah.
it would be
Right.
cheesy.
Too obvious.
So then I see a photographer out of the corner of my eye.
Oh, yes.
This lady's got a long lens. Snap, snap, snap. And I'm
Not like last night.
No, not like last night. No. So then he pulled the ring out and I just screamed, "I'm a Falcons wife," because we have a couple of friends whose husbands play on the Falcons in Atlanta, and I told Jeff, I was like, "Jeff, you know, when we went ring shopping, I was like, I picked out a lot of things. I said, listen, I just want you to make me feel like an NFL wife. That's all I want."
Very reasonable.
Very reasonable. And so when I saw the ring, I just screamed, "I'm a Falcons wife."
Now, can we get a zoom, Jake, on her ring? It is beautiful.
You are an NFL wife.
And it is so unique.
Thank you.
You know, you're never going to find someone with that ring, and that's the most important part.
Well, I picked out this setting from Jeff's jeweler, H&H Jewelry in New York, and I saw this with a different stone in it, and I said, "Hey, can we put a diamond in it?" And he was like, "Yeah, we can, girl."
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
And so now
beautiful.
you're 2 weeks happily
2
engaged. You
weeks.
feel different?
I do feel a little different. People said it changes. I feel like I got my old ball and chain now. I looked at him yesterday and I go, "Oh, that means I really have to go through with this." He's like, "Bitch, you've been in it 8 years."
Totally. Like, you already have it planned.
Right.
Italy.
Italy.
Me and Jackie will be there.
Yeah.
I've never
Capri,
been.
you think?
No, not Capri. We're gonna do Tuscany.
Rich.
Yes.
Better pasta.
Better pasta. I'm more of a, Tuscan countryside, driving a Fiat with
Yes.
a scarf around my neck and some beautiful sunglasses. on.
I will gladly partake. If I could just have one request as a wedding
Yeah.
guest, I want like never-ending pasta.
Oh, done and done.
Pasta
Olive
salad
Garden
and
style.
breadsticks. Yeah.
And I want to do it like family style, where it's like everybody's at like one long table,
yes.
and you just have like insane food, like
Yeah.
roast chicken and pasta and
my
meatballs
God.
or whatever, you know.
Yes.
Everyone goes to Capri, but here's the thing: Capri, there's no time of year where it's not just touristy as fuck. So I like being in Tuscany. We need a villa moment.
Oh my God, yes. Very like orange and green vibes.
And I was laughing. I was like, "What if we convince everybody to come to Italy and tell them they're staying in a castle, and then it's like a fire fest, and we're just like,
God.
That's so funny.
we half-assed the whole thing."
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Fire fest, Italy,
2020.
2020.
Are we
Okay.
getting Italian toasters?
Always.
Garlic bread? That's
Yeah,
funny.
That's funny.
Okay.
If there is, start a group.
It is now time to get into the fast 4 stories that you need to know before you wake up and take a bite out of your morning toast.
Let's
Because
consider that
really
the first one.
nothing happened, and our first story was amFAR recap, because we're going to give you a better recap than any of these news outlets, you know?
Oh yeah, no. We'll tell you what really happened. We'll tell you what was for dessert.
Yeah.
Right. The
Deliciousness.
Meringue.
And there was a cookie plate that was also really nice.
yeah.
Yeah. Some
I didn't get to
shortbread.
touch that.
And Ben and I were just housing those little fruit things.
What?
It was like a custard. It was like a graham cracker with a custard and then a fruit on top.
I'll
like
have
a
to talk to
gel.
him about it.
He literally was like, "Heather, get in on these." He like saw me eyeing the plate, and I was like, "Thanks, Ben, for the heads up."
No,
and I'm just
he's
popping
he's
them.
nothing if not generous, you know?
So generous.
Yes.
Such a sweetheart.
Okay, first story, Hailey Bieber and Justin Bieber are sharing the cover of this month's Vogue. Mr. and Mrs. Bieber basically share a wardrobe. Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin Bieber share a sense of style that's always been in lockstep, and now they've proven their love of a twinning moment inside the pages of Vogue. The newlywed couple appears on the cover of the magazine's 2019 issue shot by Annie Leibovitz. In the cover image, the pop star wearing only Dior Homme shorts cradles his bride clad in a white embellished Prada dress. But the inside pages is where the Biebers really show off their love of a matchy-matchy look. In one shot, they even go as far as to split a pair of Dolce & Gabbana polka dot pajamas, with Hailey wearing the oversized top and a matching bikini, and Justin wearing the bottoms. Okay, so
Okay, so what I got from this
You know,
is
as
they're
a
both
fellow-
thin. We don't care. Jeff and I could share his New York Giants sweats.
Yeah.
I hate thin couples.
Oh my God, no, me too. And you know, me and my big ring right now, like I'm wearing Heather's ring, we are the same size.
We do.
If it's like a glove.
But literally, I could not get
Heather
it off
couldn't
because
get
my fingers are sausages. I swell so bad
when
when
you
I
drink, yeah.
I wanna
It's
try it
honestly,
on.
it's so pretty, Jackie.
I don't think wearing the same size clothes as your husband is
Is a
something
good
to be proud
thing.
about.
Same.
Either.
I do want to say, like, at one point in time, I did wear Ben's clothes, and you know what? It was a dark time for me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Ooh.
It's really nice. Feels good.
Right, Bling City.
Bling City, bitch.
That is nice.
Well, I think there's a couple other things I would like to harp on in terms of the article. Not that they wear the same size clothes, because like that's just as sad and like makes me feel bad. But they talked a lot about sex. Justin was celibate for like a year and a half because he was very much a sex addict.
Really?
Yeah, and it was really important to him. And he was talking about Jesus. What'd you say?
Am I a sex addict?
How do you know?
How do you know? I just really enjoy sex.
I think, but like you're supposed to.
Yeah.
no, I think there were all those stories about him. Like, I think he was like engaging in like
Lewd behavior.
Oh, got it.
You know?
Yeah.
And there was a couple other things like that he was saying. He actually sounded very sober.
okay.
And he said that being a sex addict, like that was his last vice that he hadn't gotten rid of. I think implying that like he did struggle otherwise with addiction, which was very brave of him to discuss.
Which, if you become a huge star at 8 years old, forget
right.
it.
Did you see anyone doing drugs last night?
No, I did not.
No, just jeweling. Just
Yeah.
slowly
I was like in the
jeweling.
bathroom, like giving everyone side eye. I'm like, what is everyone up to in here? Any heroin needles I gotta get in on, you know?
Okay, do you remember we were in the bathroom and I literally like took off my dress basically? I was like, Claudia, you gotta help me pull up my Spanx.
Yeah.
And this tiny, thin woman, I couldn't tell if she was like, she had to be like Royal Saudi or something.
Yeah. Oh my God, she was so Saudi.
She walked in and she goes, she like laughed. She goes, oh, I'm gonna go into the stall to pull up mine. And I looked at you and she had a cutout dress, like literally the size of
wasn't
She wasn't wearing
Spanx.
Spanx. We would have seen it because my Spanx
Yeah.
tuck right underneath like my
so me
tit
and Heather,
fat, you know?
me and Heather literally like had our dresses up. My Spanx needed to be readjusted up here, and Heather's bra needed to be readjusted.
Yeah.
So like we were just like shameless. We were in the bathroom, like who cared? This woman came, she was like, oh.
I'm gonna go into the stall and pull up my Spanx. And I just said, you wanna go get more cake? I cannot.
No, it was bullshit.
So,
That's so funny.
speaking of Haley and Justin,
Yeah.
I think they're cute.
I think
You know
they're
what?
cute.
The article actually made me like them, and like she said, right when we got married, I had so much anxiety because like literally I just made like a million enemies for no reason because people were just like, especially online, like waiting for us to fail, and like she was literally talking directly to me, so I wanted to apologize.
Yes. And the proof is in the pudding. They've been together for a while now. They outlasted Pete and Ariana. They are more, I guess they're equally legit seeming to Nick and Priyanka, except they
Yeah.
weren't so extra about their wedding.
No, they're so
No.
private, and
That makes it more legit in my eyes.
Are y'all Nick and Priyanka fans or no?
We are
we're
Nick and
skeptics.
Priyanka skeptics.
I know, there's something about it. I really want to believe in that love because my mom was 11 years older than my late father, so I love an older woman, younger
oh,
guy
is she older? I
situation.
didn't even realize.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, she's like in her like late 30s.
Yeah, yeah, and he's my age.
That's crazy.
How would you feel?
If your father was married to someone your own age.
So, but I don't know, but I kind of here for it.
But it's not
I'm
the
here for it
age
too.
thing,
I
like-
just wish they went about it in a different way. Like the thirst with like all the videos, the pictures, the Vogue, the this, it like never ended.
Yeah, you're right
And
about
two
that.
people who are as big as stars as they are, like usually command more privacy. Like Haley and Justin, they're like thirst monster, Instagram, whatever. And even they are so private. Like I know nothing about them. And like
Right.
everything I see about them in the press wasn't released by them. It's like a paparazzi who caught him crying on the beach. Like everything they do is like put out by them. And it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird that the People mag, and then they had like the.
They had another wedding last week in New Jersey.
Yeah, another one.
Yes, for friends and family in New Jersey who couldn't make it. It's like, it never ends. 11/11, Make-A-Wish, meringue, cake, meringue, cake, meringue, cake, meringue, cake, meringue, cake, meringue, cake, meringue, meringue, cake.
And scene.
That sounded pretty good.
That sounded great.
Are you ready for your next story?
Great.
Something that we haven't discussed yet, but it's been all over Instagram, and I don't really care, but a lot of people have sent it to me. The Bachelor's Cassie Randolph addresses docuseries that's currently airing about her and her ex. Okay.
This is really shady.
Long-
And I saw the story developing, and it wasn't until I really sat down and read it till I realized how shady it was.
Okay, this is the long story short. Cassie was a student at a Christian college. So is Heather M., who's also on The Bachelor. They were filming a show, a Siesta Key type show in their college. I think it was like a student project. Like it wasn't on any networks. I think it's like, someone's passion project, and they're making like a cool little show.
For like someone who's like studying film.
Yes, but the way that it's packaged makes it look like a TV show, but I don't think it was on any TV networks. And it follows her and her friends, and she's on and off again with her boyfriend. So now she's on The Bachelor competing for Colton and winning Colton. And these trailers for this show are coming up on Instagram, and it looks like she's a thirst monster who's just like on every reality TV show. However, I think this was filmed a while back. Her and her man broke up for good before she went on The Bachelor.
I heard that they broke up for good like a week before she went on The Bachelor.
Right, and then she's on The Bachelor, so it looks shady. Then I saw a post by her ex-boyfriend who wrote, like, Cassie can't really speak for herself right now because Bachelor people aren't allowed to do press while they're still on the show.
Trust us, we've tried.
But he said, like, things were very much over between the two of us. Like, she's a great girl. I have nothing bad to say. And, like, you can't plan, like, what happens in your life. If I had met, like, the one a week after Cassie and I broke up, like, that's how it was just meant to be. So, like, I totally respect her going on The Bachelor. He was like, that was the decision that really finalized our breakup because they couldn't decide for a while. So all of this just sounds really normal to me. But people are trying to make her look like a thirst monster.
You know, it does look weird.
She released a statement and said, I'm getting a lot of questions about my ex and a docuseries. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, and a docuseries we filmed before The Bachelor. While I don't feel it is necessary that I share all the details, a lot of people are curious, and the worst thing is false rumors. I didn't want to address this without permission, but he posted about it today, so I think it's good if I do too. Kaylin and I dated all through college, and in 2015, we filmed Young Ones. 2015.
Wow.
A while after our breakup, we put our past behind us and became friends again. We share a lot of mutual friends, and he is close to my family. We both dated other people and had moved on. While we were never officially a couple again, there was a time last spring that we considered getting back together, but that didn't work out. I was open to staying friends, but he understandably thought this was too hard. Just because we didn't work out doesn't mean we now hate each other and don't care about each other. It just wasn't right for us. Since I was the one saying we couldn't be together, this was extra hard for him. Relationships are complicated. Navigating isn't usually straightforward. We were on and off for so long that turning it off for good was a difficult decision, as I truly didn't want to regret giving up on if we were meant to be.
Oh my God.
Just reading the statement, if I didn't know who Cassie was, I know the statement, I'm like, oh, she's pretty and skinny. You know? Do you know what I mean? Like, I've never, like...
That made me, like, really lightheaded. I'm not gonna lie.
No, truly, it made me lightheaded.
It made me tired.
Yeah, you really just, like, whizzed through that.
Pounded through that, like the auctioneer. $1, $2, $3.
That guy was really, like, thirsting it up for... He made some good money for amFAR last night. And
Yeah,
you know
he
what?
did.
It was all in the name of a good cause.
It was.
But he was thirsty as hell.
We relate every story back to amFAR.
Because
I was like,
Jackie, we went to the event
We
of the
should not
year.
have been there.
Yeah, and we
That's really why, because
Right.
we were literally like, no, actually, I take back that statement. We deserve to be there. And I'm going to tell you right now,
Because-
all those people on the red carpet who didn't want to take my photo, thank you to the one woman. Yeah, you heard
Yes!
it. The one woman. Her name's probably Leslie, and she looked at me and she goes, sweetheart, I'll take your photo.
Yeah, no, she was nice. I know exactly who you're talking about. She was in the front right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and by the way, we did deserve to be there. No one enjoyed themselves more than us. No one
Yeah.
ate more. No one drank more.
Danced
no
more.
one danced more. No one smiled more.
No one networked more.
No.
Actually, I didn't really get up.
No, me neither.
No, I
It's
was
such a good
just-
seat. What's
Why
to
No
not?
one waved at Kim more.
No, Kim waved at nobody more.
Exactly. So we really deserved. We earned our stripes.
No, I feel like we were like the motivators they bring to bat mitzvahs. Like we really enhanced the night for others
Yeah.
Yes.
and for ourselves.
Yeah.
We really set the tone.
Yeah.
I feel always that way, but then it's like, is that what they want? You know,
I know,
the
it's like a
organizers,
snobby
or do they
event.
want it to be like,
Nose in the air. Yeah, good question. I don't know.
I don't know.
So are y'all into this season of The Bachelor? Speaking of that story,
It's not
I'm
terrible.
It's not its worst.
I've never watched a single episode.
I'm
I've
jealous of
never
all the
started
time
it.
that
Never
you've
started
kept
it. Yeah.
as your own.
I
Then
just-
don't.
Yeah.
It ain't worth it.
But I like Cassie, and I didn't need an explanation for this little show that her student film friend filmed.
No, the toasters made it a story.
And the way that her ex-boyfriend spoke about her was very kind, and
Right.
that tells me everything I need to know about her as a person.
I
That
agree.
She's not a vindictive.
And also, they were like,
ex.
it's her college boyfriend. She's now in grad school. Like, bitch has moved on.
Right.
Yeah.
We should do the same.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Me
And
too.
like, I think then what the ex said was like the TV show, the docuseries is posting all these trailers now in a very, strategic way because that she's on the show and they're trying to like
Yeah,
profit
they're trying to
off of
get
that.
some viewers on their fake streaming
Right.
service.
And it worked. Okay, this next story goes back to something we were talking about yesterday. And we were with TBG last night, so I would be curious to get his take on it. But it is some more aviation news. Birds strike planes in the USA more than 40 times a day, FAA data show. So a Sully situation is happening 40 times a day. 10 years after a collision with Canada geese forced airline pilot Chesley Sully Sullenberger to make his dramatic emergency landing on the Hudson, pilots and airports report as many bird strikes as ever. Civilian flights based in the USA reported 14,661 collisions with wildlife in 2018, a USA Today analysis of FAA data shows. That's more than 40 a day, tying the previous year's record. The strikes have been blamed in more than 106 civilian deaths worldwide over the past 2 decades, according to British and Canadian researchers. They cause about $1.2 billion a year in damage.
Well,
What's
that's
that-
terrifying.
What's that movie where the guy, his like thing is like Sully wasn't a hero? The planes are built to.
Is it Dennis from 30 Rock?
No, it's a movie where the guy, like, he's looking, like, he finally knows he meets his woman because, like, she also thinks, like, Sully's not a hero. Like, the plane did it, not Sully.
Oh, I don't know.
Fuck. Oh my God, it's really bothering me. One of the
I'm
toasters
sure.
will write in the comments. Yes, I mean, this just goes back to what I'm saying today. Like, you call them pilots, I call them bird murderers. It's terrible. And you know what? Justice for the birds.
And
we're so gluttonous and we're so.
Trying to get somewhere.
Yeah, like, we always just have, like, a place to be, and it's like, at what cost?
Listen,
this costs
I'll take
14,000 birds.
I'll take a bird any damn day. Birds are sky rats, okay? PETA, don't come at me. You walk through the streets of New York, those things are carrying all sorts of shit and they attack you.
They do. Oh, wait,
No.
you want to hear something so interesting? I was in Mexico, and I was at the hotel. I kept seeing, like, there was 3 or 4 people standing on the beach and, like, the pool area with literal hawks on their arms, chained. And I'm like, that is so terrible.
No,
like,
that is so
as a tourist
terrible.
attraction, you're gonna get someone to take a picture with a hawk. Like, a hawk is a deadly, and, like, let him fly. Then I found out they're actually there to scare off other, like, birds and pigeons on the beach, like, that are always eating your food. And then I thought, I'm like, the whole weekend I didn't see a bird.
Nice.
So I didn't know how to feel about it, because, like, I was kind of grateful that there were.
But this is like bird slavery.
Right, it was terrible. He had a chain.
Right, but if they
Also, couldn't they just let the hawks like fly around and keep them out? Or would you then? Oh no, then you'd get attacked by a hawk.
Or like
Yeah.
the hawks wouldn't be interested in the beach and they'd go elsewhere, and like then they'd have to fend for
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah, or they go up into
So
the
this
sky.
is a real double-edged sword.
Yeah, it was a predicament. At first I felt so sad, and then I realized they were useful, and I'm like, I'm selfishly now into this idea, because birds on the beach are so fucking annoying.
So annoying. They always eat your fries.
Yeah.
They
It's
go
like,
in the
bitch,
fry.
that's my job.
That's yeah.
See, I wanted to get your guys' opinion.
That's conflicting.
Yeah.
Conflict.
Here's my thing. The birds, like, obviously we have to share the space. You know what I mean? We have to share the airwaves,
yeah.
the air. So, I mean, I'm just glad I'm not getting, like, sucked out of an airplane. You know what I mean?
Right. That's our biggest, like, in 2019, like, these are still things we have to think about.
Also, here's the thing. If that many planes are getting hit by birds, clearly they're just getting hit and going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not actually going into, like, the engine of it all.
Well,
no, it's not affecting,
Yeah, it's not
unless it's
affected.
Sully.
Sorry, I tried to use my words, but I'm still a little
Drunk.
foggy from the meringue
There-
and tequila.
Yeah, there are several factors that are increasing this, which is changing migratory patterns, bigger and faster and quieter turbofan-powered aircrafts, which are giving birds less time to get out of the way.
Oh. We're literally invading their space
they
and
can't
killing them.
see a big
we
plane.
we are terrorists.
We're literally going up behind them.
Yeah.
Like on the street
And
like, quietly
sucking
and then
them.
just sucking them out.
Yeah, like it's their space. Like we are not meant to be 30,000 feet. And we're going up there, invading their habitat and killing their families. It's terrible.
It's not right. It's not right.
and
This
you know,
is a
to
really
make
sad picture.
Jackie, that picture is so sad.
Okay, now I
To make matters worse, we call airplanes birds. Just to put a little salt in the wound, metaphorically. Terrible.
Terrible.
travel.
Okay.
Well, if they maybe fix the trains, we could take trains, but you know, Europe does it well, but the infrastructure in America is such shit.
Yeah, you should be able to take a train from LA to New York. Like, okay.
And not get a pimple like Harry Bradshaw.
Right. Margot Fish, my friend, her husband, took a train from New York to LA because he had to get surgery or something. He couldn't be on an airplane. And it was 2 days. And Margot, like the whole 2 days, was freaking out. She obviously didn't go with him. She was freaking out.
2 days isn't so bad.
Oh my God, on a train, on a car where you don't move?
That's
Yeah.
not so.
Horrible.
Yeah.
My worst nightmare.
2 full days.
Even like in the fancy cart with the shower.
But yeah, I don't know. If there's a restaurant.
I would really love it though if they brought trains back and like you could see
Glamorous
America on it.
trains.
Glam trains.
Like Harry Potter trains.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
grains.
Yeah.
Glamorous
I mean, I
trains.
love sitting down, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have service, you have Wi-Fi. You're not like in the
Really good
sky.
air conditioning.
Yeah, maybe there's like a cute boy on
There's no
board.
birds.
Start a interboard romance.
Turn down service.
Oh, yes.
Like pods, like Delta One, but
yes.
like on a train.
No, it would need to be nicer if I'm there for 2 days.
And you could go through like Wyoming. You could like see things. Like I want to
Yeah.
see that whole part of the world, but it's like.
Do you know that Netflix has a movie that's just a train ride from like Bergen to Oslo, and you just watch like a 4-hour train ride?
That's like stoner stuff right there.
Yeah.
That's Netflix and toke.
Yeah. What's that?
The old word, you take a toke.
Oh, I never heard that.
Yeah, it's
I
like
heard you take a rip, a puff,
You
Inhale.
children, let me tell you. Back in my day, we used to say you take a toke.
I didn't know.
I'm in my 30s.
Okay, last story. JCPenney is ditching appliances and most furniture from its stores.
It's time.
They should also just
They should get rid of the clothes
yeah,
too.
the clothes.
The employees, the
yeah.
stores.
Oh,
Yeah.
the employees
Close
that
the
go back,
doors.
Yeah, just come on, JCPenney.
JCPenney is trying to reinvent itself again. It's getting rid of appliances and most furniture to return its focus to clothing sales. The company hasn't turned a profit since 2010, and it forecasts several more years of losses. New CEO Jill Soltau pledged, quote, quick action to put JCPenney on the path to profitability.
Explain to me. JCPenney hasn't been profitable in 2010, but last year they did this whole thing with influencers, Jacques Panay, and they literally paid influencers upwards of $15,000. Maybe that's why they're in the tank.
Jacques Panay.
That was a good idea, though. They wanted to do a fancy store, so they made a Jacques Panay.
Oh.
JCPenney.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Like Target for Target.
Right.
Right.
I fucking love Target.
Here's the thing. JCPenney doesn't have any good brands in it. It's
Like, what does JCPenney
Yo,
give me that I can't get
What do
anywhere
they
else?
sell? Yeah.
They were selling
Flannels?
appliances and clothes, but they're taking out all the kitchen stuff, so it's going to be a clothing store.
I literally didn't even know you could buy a microwave at JCPenney. I thought it was
Where
just
is a JCPenney?
No, I literally thought it was just a retail store, for clothes. I guess that's going back to what I already thought it was.
Oh, it's like old school Sears, Like back in the day, you used to go to Sears to get your washer dryer, all your
Yeah.
appliances.
Yeah, but when I think of Sears, I think appliance. I don't think T-shirts.
Yeah, you're right.
No, see, this
You're
is the
right.
problem. They need a rebound because when I think of JCPenney in clothing, I think more like TJ Maxx. I wouldn't
Yeah,
go.
They need just a new name. It's a terrible name. Maybe they should call it.
But it seems
Penny. Just
Oh!
like Penny.
But then it sounds like a cheap store where you could get something for
Yeah,
a penny.
oh, yeah.
Like a
yeah,
dollar
like a dollar store.
Just a,
They could do better.
JCP.
no.
When it comes to
Sounds like HPV.
and also when it comes to having names of stores be initials, it's
Yeah.
just never good.
Yeah,
BJ's. What do they sell at BJ's? I've actually never been.
I think it's like Walmart.
I think it's TVs, right?
BJ's, Superstore?
Yeah.
It's like a shitty Sam's Club.
Well, I don't know Sam's Club. They don't have it in New
Oh,
York.
sorry. Okay, Sam's Club is like a shitty Costco.
Oh,
Just
I fucking
Costco,
love
Sam's Club,
Costco.
BJ's.
Very cool.
I
BJ's,
love
I think, has
Costco.
more electronics, but I'm pretty, it's Costco's king, then Sam's Club, then BJ's.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Then Walmart.
Oh, but I like Walmart.
I like Walmart too.
They have price match guarantee.
Are you really
Layaway.
going through and price matching shit, Claudia?
Well, for a TV, yeah.
Rollover.
Rollover.
Layaway.
No, I don't.
I was gonna do.
I'm
the
from the
off-
South, so I don't like Walmarts, and I can say that.
Okay.
What do you like?
Why don't people?
Target.
Yeah.
Oh, but why don't people from the South like Walmart?
No, I'm sure people in the South do like Walmart. I just don't like it because when I went to school in Mississippi, that was our only store. Our only big store was the Walmart, and I was just would be pissed at where's Target?
No, Target is literally the greatest store on earth.
It's just, you know what? I don't like a lot of tchotchkes, and when I go to Walmart, I get it's just
Tchotchke
a
Central.
lot of tchotchkes.
I agree.
But you can get anything you need.
Okay.
This is true.
Was that our last story?
That was our last story.
Wow, I feel refreshed. Anything else?
No, I just really have to pee.
I'm so hungry. Where are we
too.
going to lunch? Oh, you have to go.
I have to go.
I'm starving and I'm slightly hungover, so.
Yeah, so
that's it.
That's a great reason and way to end.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you. Make sure you are tuned in tomorrow. We have Juliet Porter and Kelsey Owens from Siesta Key.
TBD on if I'll be here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I might have to go to the courthouse.
That's fine. Going to the
chapel.
chapel. If you can't be here, Snitch will co-host.
I might have to get married tomorrow.
Gonna
girl.
get married.
But
In Maui.
I obviously want to come now for Siesta Key, but the last time I didn't go to the courthouse because of a guest on the toast, it really bit me in the ass. And
Yeah,
now-
jury duty.
Jury duty.
No, it's interfering with our vacation. It's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Heather, for being here. You guys, make sure to
Thanks
keep
for
up with
having me.
Heather on her Instagram, Heather McMahan.
Heather K. McMahon for
What-
Kardashian.
Is that what it stands for?
No, it's Kyle, my middle name. But when I tell people on the phone, because they never can spell my last name, I'm like, yeah, it's Heather K, like Kardashian, McMahon. And
yeah.
they're like, oh. And then they actually perk up because they think I'm a Kardashian. And I'm like, no, I'm just.
Is Heather McMahan taken?
No, but it's always been Heather K.
I like it.
Should I move to Heather McMahon?
No, be you. Do you.
Heather Kyle.
Ooh, if you really wanted to wear fedoras and stuff,
Yeah.
you could be Heather Kyle.
Heather Kyle.
Yeah.
Like
Actually,
double.
That's
Yeah.
a really nice name, for an
Thank you.
influencer.
Thank you.
Do you follow Heather Kyle? Yeah, me too.
Oh, yeah, Heather Kyle. She's so pretty.
She's amazing style.
Have you seen her thin ankles? She has a really thick neck. Also, that one photo that they did take on Getty Images, my neck is so thick. So.
That's just my life.
Thick neck, thin ankles. See you later, bitches.
Guys, love you. We'll see you tomorrow.